Hey there, everybody. Continuing our November lunchtime chat series. For the rest of this week, we're going to talk about buyers and things buyers need to know. So today, I'm going to start off by explaining what a buyer's agent is, what we do, and in that role, and why you should probably have one if you're looking to buy a home. So a buyer's agent is just what it says, an agent to help someone looking to buy a home. And when you contract with a buyer's agent, when you enter into an agreement with that agent, um, then that buyer's agent has a responsibility, a fiduciary responsibility to you as the buyer, as opposed to the seller. So if you call up the listing agent that's on Zillow, that's on the listing, or from the sign in the yard, not anything wrong with that inherently, but you need to understand that that agent on that property, or in regards to that property, their responsibility is to the seller and to getting the seller the best price with the least amount of conditions, and the least amount of work or money out of pocket for the seller, not for you, the buyer. Whereas if you have your own buyer's agent, then that agent's responsibility is to get you the best deal, the best house at the best price for you, with, like I said, all of the conditions as good as possible for your situation. Now, many of us, myself included, serve both roles. We work with sellers and buyers. In Kansas, you can't be a dual agency, so if you were to want to buy one of my properties, there would be some different things there that we'd have to talk about logistically. But so I'm not saying that people who are listing agents should never work with buyers, because most of us do both, like I said, including myself. But you want an agent that you have interviewed and hired and who is working for you, not for the listing, for that property, not for the sellers of that property. So, so that you have somebody in your corner, on your side and working for your best interest exclusively. There is a buyer's agency agreement that lays all of that out, that both you and the buyer's agent, which could be me, hopefully, sign. And that explains everybody's responsibilities in that relationship, and lines out all the terms so that it's all out up front on the table, clear to everybody. Also, another reason you should get a buyer's agent is because most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, with very, very few unusual exceptions, the seller is who's paying the buyer agent. It hardly ever costs the buyer anything to have an agent. So why would you not have someone there to advocate for you when it's not costing you money, and it's very likely going to save you money in the long run? There will be people out there who will argue that you could potentially negotiate a better deal with the seller if you use their agent or don't have your own. That's possible. It could happen. But most of the time what happens is the seller's agent just takes all of the commission and gets extra pay. So really it's nothing negative to the seller or the buyer for you to have an agent. It doesn't cost you anything. The seller has already agreed to pay a certain amount in commission. So don't let that be something to hold you up from getting a buyer's agent. Again, in the long term, it's likely going to save you money. As a buyer's agent, I'm going to walk you through every step of the process. I'm going to do all the paperwork for you. I'm going to negotiate for you. And I'm going to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, communicate with the inspectors, with the lender, with the title company, with the other agent, everything. So it's a lot less that you have to worry about. I keep all the balls in the air and let you know how it's going, so you don't have to worry about that. You can just worry about packing up and deciding what colors you want to paint the walls or whatever you're going to do. So I hope that's helpful. Tomorrow we'll talk about the lingo buyers need to know, so some of the terminology that would be helpful for you to know as you think about buying. And I think next week we're going to talk a little more on the seller side. So join me tomorrow at lunchtime for the next part of this series. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.